Here's a weird synchronicity. I just found it. I just had it. I'm kind of tripped out. This is a band I listened to since I was a kid, since like the 1980s. The group is called Concrete Blonde. The album is called Bloodletting. It's my Scorpio moon. It it attracts me to all kinds of things. So I'm like listening to this song called Bloodletting, because this is the foundation of our country, essentially. It's based on this stuff. Bloodletting. Spells, manipulation, power plays. The Jezebel spirit, just chasing them sensations. So at the end of it, when you look at the lyrics, you go all the way to the end, and it has the lady, the lead singer, Jeanette Napolitano. I'm hooked on phonics. I got addictive personality. Forgive me if I say it wrong. Anyway, so I'm like, I haven't looked her up in a little while. Let's look her in there. There she is. Probably doing her Baphomet stuff. As above, so below. I just like the music. I don't worship the lady because I know she likes too much shadow, and I'm more of the light that exposes this stuff. So when you look down here, it says she's 68 years old. Now I don't think that's a current picture of her at 68, because they. And then it says her age 68. If you look right there, it says September 22nd, 1957. Twos or fives backwards. And I just like went like that when I saw this. Because that is the day my sister Jessica died. That's the day 6 died. Got your 6, my sister Jessica. And she also died, no, it was the 23rd. It was the day after. My mistake. I stand corrected. I always thought, Jess, if you would have gone the day before, it would have looked better in my brain, but she chose the 23rd, the day after. That's right. To get on that motorcycle, because she lived the lifestyle that this music perpetuates. See, they make music, and then people are like, yeah, this music makes me feel this kind of way. And then when people feel this kind of way, they go out and do stuff to feed, we'll just call it negative energies, to feed that lower vibration, earthly stuff. So they, do it like anyway. It just makes people do weird stuff. Power, control, dominance. It's bizarre. So I opted out of the physical realm almost a decade ago. I've been celibate almost a decade. And when you haven't been intimate and physical with people that long, like, it's like everybody on the world is an NPC. And the one person that you would throw that all away for would have to be pretty remarkable. That'd have to be a pretty darn big honeypot. So I just hold out because I can be so easily manipulated by a pretty girl. If she's pretty and wears high heels and like puts herself together, I'll do whatever they want me to do. I get it from my dad. My mom didn't raise no dummy, but my dad did. It's cold here in Taos today. It's supposed to warm up later, but we're up to like, I don't know, it's 12 degrees the last time I looked. And my car ain't working, and I figured it out. And I've spent probably $7,000 in the last few months because If I have the means and there's a problem, I'm just going to throw the means on the problem to take care of the problem. You get my means? And so, I just started, and then I got robbed from one of the first mechanic I took. They took me for a financial free ride of $3,000 and didn't even look at the problem. Like, they charged me for diagnostics that they didn't do, because if they did, they would have found the problem, but they didn't. So never take your shit to Metric Motors. I don't care how cool Dawn is. They'll fucking rob you blind. Even if you're good to them, man. I was good to them. And, so now I've deduced it to the brain, to the little, the ECU. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't doing it. I ain't gonna do what you're telling me to do, because I'm a Heyoka. Rock me, Amadeus. Amadeus, 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 Amadeus. Rock me, Amadeus. Go listen to that song, Falco. You probably weren't born yet. It's about Mozart. Now he became a Freemason. Because the world is run on butt stuff. It is. We gotta pay taxes so important people can gather in rooms and do gross stuff to kids in the name of their gods. See, you know how they kiss a wall? They kiss the brown rim too. Same way. That's what they're doing. They're kissing the ass of their demigods. See, this is, I changed it. See how it said, it used to say USA Air Force. This is my scarlet letter. I changed the O to an A because it's the U.S. Air Farce. And we all pay for it. How's it feel to barely be able to pay for your car, to keep it on the road, to pay for little stickers? So if we don't have them, we could get pulled over by little brown men in black uniforms that look like the Gestapo from Germany. In New Mexico, they dress their little state policemen. They put them through their little indoctrination program, and they tell them to hit them with your stick. Because our legal system is so fucked. No, there's no accountability. You don't need a soul in New Mexico. You got green and red chilies. Infrastructure shit. 29% of the population can't read. 29%, that is 1 out of 3 people cannot fucking read in New Mexico. But hey, don't be discouraged because they have car shows. You can go to any small town on any Sunday on a nice day where the unuseful stupid cousins will gather with their cars that have been in their families. Did he? Leo? I'll look it up. I'll check it out right now. I love recommendations. Baby, baby, do you rock me? Baby, baby, do you rock me? Baby, baby, do you rock me? See, this music that they have now is shit. Music now, it's not even fake. They say, make me a pretty song, fake brains. Here's your pretty song. Human being without any creativity of your own. Could you say the name again? I can't, my chat goes away. I see a conversation and hold on, I can bring it back. Live chat. where it is. And then I gotta go to my Apple Music, get out of there, search. I wish my body went and then by the time I get to all that, this chat goes away again. Okay, so Leo, that's such a long name. Mora, Mora, New Mexico is just south of here. There it is. Now I got Depeche Mode. I got this. Were there CDs in 89 80s? They came out. It was on CD. World in My Eyes. Ba 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 ba. Okay, so he covers a lot, this Leo dude. I never heard of him before. So it looks like he covered Africa. Oh, Leo, that's so funny. Oh, that's... Wait a minute. What placement is in Leo? We're about to have a Leo full moon right now. See, the synchronicities are popping right now. See, I look at a synchronicity is a thread of frequency that bonds past, present, and future all at the same time. Oh my God. I just, in layman's term, explained the synchronicity. And next, I'm going to explain the weaponized human, because that's what they did to me. From birth, they've been weaponizing me from birth. Because they mixed me up. I was supposed to be a he and they made me a she. So I'm a mixed up he. Sick. And they've been shooting me up with stuff since I was a little baby. Since mom was pregnant with me. I've been the mega hers version. I'm having a hard, oh, there it is. Okay, let me focus on this song. I am all over the place. I have no earth in my chart and I glitch out technology. Okay, so what version? Live chat, come back. Megahertz. I'm a megahertz. Megahertz Marge. Megahertz. It's not. Is it in Apple? Because I think like a computer, so it's not finding it. I'll look it up. I don't have Spotify, but I would sign up for Spotify if they had it. What if I copy and paste? Copy and put it in paste. Spotify? Okay. Yeah, I gotta go support this kid on Spotify and just play his music over and over. I'll just put it on my iPad because the kid gets paid and I want to help him get paid, so I can just listen to his music on a loop on my iPad and while I go on about my day on a different device. He's a Norwegian musician and a former preschool teacher who creates metal covers of popular song. I just saw something about Rammstein recently. Because I used to listen to them with like Nitzer Ebb. Because I knew dudes that were in that gothic, and I hung out with all kinds of people until they did shit that I was like, nah, I don't want to hang out with you no more. Who creates metal. And I know people back in Reading, I know this one kid. I know his parents. I went to high school with them. Rest in peace, Elkie. She was always a metal mom. It was through her I saw like my first snuff films and stuff like she. The early renditions, like they had like the bootleg copies of Faces of Death, and I wouldn't watch. I couldn't. I heard just listening to the Monkees, like I had to go home. Like I could be at home where I don't hear the cracking sound, or I could be here. So I'd always excuse myself and to be someplace where I could be at peace. He was born 10 October, so he's a Scorpio. I got a Scorpio moon. I'm born on the 9th of April. That's one day off from my half birthday. So thank you for recommending this dude. He's not, because I'm trying to change my heart about things that I've been adamant against, and heavy metal's been one of them. So, and like, right, you're half German. Hessig derives from Hesig. I come from Nazis and Freemasons. I'm Aries, Sun, Scorpio. That's why I know I'm a weaponized being. Because they wanted to take me from mom's womb on the 1st of April. And she said she didn't know the history. Yeah, I'm the same way. But she didn't know the history. And so, like, she trusted the doctors and then they mutilated her. And you're a Scorpio? That's badass. I love Scorpios. We got squinty little beady eyes. And then I got a Cancer moon. So I love astrology. Mom had my first chart done when I was born. Maybe she did know the history, and maybe that's why she wouldn't allow them to take me on the 1st of April, because that is the true first new year, and she didn't want that. And her explanation is my daughter will not be born on a day that they recognize as April Fool's Day. And I forever am grateful. And she gets to sleep in and have pancakes because I'm so grateful. She's still here. I'm so grateful for that. Man slammed her head in a car door. I know I know that evil lives on this earth and it exists and it walks through people. People allow themselves to energetically be open and receptive through music and decisions that they make, and then they go and act out like soul sack puppets to, I'm going to cause harm, or I'm going to rape and pillage and drop bombs. And that is not the earth in which it was intended. And I'm here to declare sovereignty back to the spirit, not the system of the beast. Cheers to that. And I do it in a peaceful way. Because I've been to fake wars. They had me go to Crete where we dropped bomb. I got pictures over there in a box. I've taken pictures my whole life. I've been a historian documenting the world as I understand it in real life. And I flipped off George Bush on 9/11 as he taxied by. And the conclusions I've come to is Washington, D.C. and Hollywood are in fact the same Black Ops budgets, and they both exist. I didn't watch it, I kind of lived it. My brother he's the chosen one, and I'm the throwaway. I'm the weaponized human. I'm the one that's supposed to be so hurt because society turned its back to me, and everybody that ever knew me and knew my character believed the lie when I've been out here living the truth. And I get my feelings hurt sometimes. My brother, look him up. Go look him up right now. California barcode. Now, the only reason why I say this number is because I remember it from 2017 when I was online and I kept Weird Kid hitting the button to see if he passed the bar while I had him on the phone because he was like, oh, I'll look it up later. And I'm like, no, bro, I'll tell you now. He was my brother. And he threw me away to take care of mom by myself with my own devices. And I don't have a lot of those devices that fit in the world of everybody else, but I can act. And then I got to a place where I can't act around people's control mechanisms. I can't act around it. And that's how we ended up in Taos. I didn't want to live in Taos. I just wanted a place to live with my mom and 5 dogs and cat that wasn't too hot in the summer and too cold in the winter and wasn't going to cost me an arm and leg to, until they died. And now I got mom left. I got 1 dog left and my cat. And my commitment is honored. Whatever past life transgressions, whatever family I didn't take care of, whatever, lives were lost because I was off drinking too much, it won't happen in this life. So, we ended up in Taos after knowing mom was born someplace. being adopted. I knew she was born with club feet, and I just figured her family didn't want to take care of her little deformed baby, so they threw her away in an orphanage, and it was something like that. It was dad wanted to have sex on Valentine's Day, and then whether mom wanted to or Cecilia Cisneros wanted to or not. And then mom came late on the 28th of November, years later, or months later, only to be thrown away to an orphanage down in El Paso, Texas, where she got adopted by a, I don't know, husband, wife, everybody's, there's all these inverts on the planet, hard telling. People that can't have kids, they're probably were manipulated in vitro. They're probably like they did me. They gave me shot. I have more testosterone in my body than most men my age. Let's just put it like that. And I'm a woman in menopause. I've been post-menopausal for a year, and I'm just going to turn 52 years old. Hey, Miss J, happy to see you. See, they programmed your mom to go chase the dream. So your reality was fucked. And you could support a system by just being an allocated number like my brother gets. My brother makes $250,000 a year, and all he does is type out letters. And he works for the office. I don't think he works for the same office anymore. He works for the state of California, and his legal bar number is 249276. He's a script writer. He's one of the people that draws on, because he's a psychic intuitive. We came from the same place. He just says he's one of the evil that profits from saying, that doesn't happen, Margie. That never happens. When they're back here he's a skull and bones. He's a fraternity. We are generational Freemasons. You know, they did weird shit to my mom. We moved to Redding from San Luis Obispo because I wasn't minding one day and she was stressed out and she did one of these. She grabbed me and she said, and I was like mad because I had to leave grandma or like some stupid kid, and she did one of these. And she said, if we didn't leave San Luis Obispo, they were going to take you and they were going to hunt you in the woods in Montana. And I straightened up because she would tell me the truth to snap me back in reality, to ground me. So I can see how the world is, because how they told me on it is on TV, it's not that way. Christmas isn't Santa Claus around a big fluffy tree with a bunch of presents. I never lived in that world. Our Christmases were spent on a Greyhound bus from noon until 11:30 at night to go home to a cold place with concrete floors. But I was so happy because we always had love. We always had cats. We always had dogs. So we could appease a judge that was friends with my grandmother, that they hung out with in the same clubs, quota club. They hung out. They're all buddies, friends. You know, well, she took my grandkid. Make it hard for her. Okay, we'll make her, we'll make it so it's like this. And we grew up on welfare, and my dad didn't pay his fair share. He didn't pay for the seeds that he spread. And mom had to do things that women have to do to take care of their kids that people never want to think about, but they'll watch it on TV. Look at the fucking Bible, man. What is it? It's about a single mom that's freaking stranded in a stable having kids in the cold. But people put more money and resources into having mega churches that glorified that one story over and over and over again, while single mothers with kids are having babies in the street and then throwing the kids in the dumpster. And I'm supposed to wrap my head around that as it pertains to any sort of logic, because men that hate fucking women, that have their G-spots in their butthole and they do nothing but chase sensations their whole life, it wrecks souls. And then people get mad and they get hurt and they want to act out. And then they act out because they can't take it anymore. They can't take the abuse. They can't. Like, you can only take so much. A human can only take so much. Neglect is abuse. So much you're going, I need help, I need help, and there's nobody there. The prayers go on the wind when we, the earth angels, are supposed to hear the prayers, come in and save the fucking day. But people would rather sit in theaters and make fake movies about saving the day than they do want to go in their own community to save the fucking day. My dad worked at the Atascadero State Mental Hospital because my grandma's connected. They had my mother put in there from time to time so she could be snapped back in reality. The funny thing is she was like a Sarah Connor, gathering information of how the real world is and what she needs to look out for. And the things that she learned back then. And then back then, because of my dad, I remember my dad telling me about how Geraldo Rivero was a prominent feature in getting mental hospitals closed down. I gotta bend my knees. I'm locking my knees. I'm gonna cut the flow off. And he used to tell me, and he told me these stories that I was just like, why the fuck is this guy telling me this stuff? And then he's given me like little Easter eggs because we don't talk a lot. I would ask him questions, he would ignore me, and then I'd be like, can you not hear me? And then I'd get yelled at because I didn't understand his silence was the fact that I didn't pick up on their hints. And I'm like, Mom taught me to be direct. I don't pick up on hints. You know? So Mom, they'd lock Mom up for being a protective mother. No more. She didn't break the laws. One time she did. She hit a guy with a tire chalk. But he was drunk on a motorcycle and he was harassing her. He was just saying dirty things to her, and our car broke down. Like, we were hiding in the ditch and stuff to get away from this guy. There's no sheriff to help, and then finally she picked this thing up and threw it, and it broke out his light. He was wasted too. He was so drunk. And then the sheriff come, and then they hauled Mom off, came to get me and that's what the system is. And I ever since I was a kid, I hated the system. Why do I wear this jacket? Because I needed to take care of my mom, and this is the bullshit I had to do. Like, I was a little puppet. I wasn't very smart. They said in 1987 I was autistic. I thought they meant artistic. And so I was like, oh, they said I was good at art. I'm just going to start drawing. And I was a little weird kid that drew everything, But then I had to go take care of responsibilities. So that pulled me away from my, all the fun I wanted to have. And so what I learned to do is, because I never got to do stuff that was fun. So I always had to do the bullshit, grunt, stinky work that nobody wants to do. It rolls down on people like me, the support staff, bussers in restaurants, it's like, I'll do anything, just let me have a job. And then I get the shit job, and then I learn how shitty the world really is. And it ain't fair. And that's what I talk about, is how, my mom didn't have food to eat. We didn't have food growing up, but look at all the people that have jackets with their name on it, because because we go over there and kill people that don't deserve to die. Understand that? Nothing. Look how America's a third world country now. Don't get it twisted. There are still rich parts in America. They're inclusive with paid membership only. That is what America is. America is over. The ideas of freedom and do this and do, they're completely saturated and riddled and overrun with woods. I'm the highest functioning autistic. How many autistics worked on flight line support when we bombed Iraq? And saw the Marines when they left and then came back. They left, little strong, because Marines aren't big and tough like people think they are. They're little dudes. They're little Pisces. They're little Virgos. They're little Cancers that are compensating for their feminine energy And then they go over there and want to kill, and then they get a chance. I'm Scottish too. My dad's Freemason. And then they get a chance, and then mom's Spanish and native to indigenous to America. So I got the lizard blood and I got the good blood and the bad blood. That's what my inner conflict comes from. Ego and spirit. Oh, this is a rad song. This is The Cure, like cockatoos. Dun 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 dun. That riff, I gotta learn how to play. I always wanted to play bass. Love Cats I can play. Only song in the world I can play is Love Cats. But I can play it on left and right bass because I use both sides of my brain. That's what ambidextrosities are. So they try to break our brain, but really we become more whole with the universe. It's pretty fucking rad. I don't even recognize, let me tell you like this, since my brother is a writer of the scripts, they're in my mind. None of them exist. They're all paid actors. Washington, D.C., congressmen, senators, lobbyists, they're all actors. They all act like they give a shit about people like you and me. And they're all fucking butt buddies, bending over the conference tables. They're all freaking Drake doing too much coke. They're all doing the shit that they throw us in jail for doing. That is what they are. I call them reindeer games. Remember the little song, all of the other reindeer used to laugh and call me names. Like large Marge. Wouldn't let me play. Well, I got to play their games. And then I said, you know what? Y'all are fucking, exactly, psychopaths. Y'all are nuts. Y'all are wackadoos. Y'all do weird shit to kids. I was 10 months old when they did weird shit to me. I got to teach a woman something yesterday. She's a foot doctor. She took over the practice of her late husband, and she meets with people, does like a 34-point test on their feet, like all-point inspection, and then she makes orthopedics. Because if you can't use your feet, the rest of your body's fucked, and people have no comprehension of this, really. If you get a sunburn on your feet while on vacation in Hawaii in the military, and then go back and you get a sunburn because you're just standing out, look at this, look at that. You get, well, water is reflected. You've been in the water for 2 hours. You get out, oh shit, my feet hurt. You go back to work. You can't put your boots on. You get an Article 15. You want to know why? If they don't like you for being dumb, dereliction of duty. You didn't use your brains and you can't put on your boots to do your fucking job, you dumbass. Get out. We don't want you. That's the world. I'm telling you, people. But I got to stay in after getting a DUI. Must have been my good blood. I got sober. I was sober 15 years. Then I went out, blew up my life. I didn't want the date. I didn't want the 10th of June. I didn't want it held to Bellevue AA because every time they said, you got to act better than you feel. People would look at me right in the eye and they'd be like, people can't know that you don't like them. And I'd be like, okay, that doesn't make sense to me. Why don't I just get to know them and then I'll like them? You know, like, why does that have to be a thing? And then after I moved, I figured out none of those fucking people liked me. But I'm autistic and I can't tell. It's so weird. I got duped, man. I got duped hard. So I drank again. I didn't want the date. I didn't want to be tied to fucking Bellevue AA and all the goodness. And my spiritual giant grand sponsor, Peg Martin, and all that shit. Because none of them, when I needed them, none of them were there. None of them were. I'm trying to think. Nope, none of them. Yeah, I can't drink. I do flour. I make candy. Want to see some candy I make? Here, let me grab some. All right, here's a piece. All right. This is my last batch. This is my best batch. This is probably batch number 6. This is my carrot. Here, let me change the light so it's white. we get a more accurate depiction. It's super hard, but in 2 sticks of butter, I did a double batch, so I used a can of butter, 2 sticks. And guess what else? You're gonna love this, okay, guy, DV. Is that the butter? I have a program called it.Artists that has preset frequencies for healing. Can of butter, yeah. And then I put the frequencies into the can of butter, and then I make this so I can make modified healing cannabis candy. How dope is that? That's hella dope. So it's good stuff, man. It smells so good. I give it to people as gratuity because I'm appreciative of them, so people get it as like tips. That's my money. It's my currency. I would love to grow my own, and I'm good at it, and I've done it. Except where I live in Taos, I'm surrounded by a bunch of stupid cousins, scumbags, that don't have a whole lot of talent. Some do. Some do. They're just at home, you know, being hidden by the veils of obscurity. And so I've been robbed. They take my shit. And in order, I'm not willing to grow again until I can have my forever home. I can move into my forever home. And then I can put up perimeters and security. And if they try to come onto my land and take my shit again, it's not going to end as well. I'm not going to let them take from me. So when people take from me, I let them. And then I will not give them more. I want to do that. I want to do all of these things. I want to have a place because of my Gemini placements where community. So I want to have a place with I don't know, an Aunt Marge's house. That's what I want. Is an Aunt Marge's house. Look at this alien ant farm courage. I don't mean to. Alien ant farm. I listened to for a long time, and we live on an alien ant farm. Like, I bet people, I'm like, dude, I get you're trying to pull off that you're human, but your, like, mask is slipping. You know what I mean? Like, I've been drinking, and they reveal themselves when you're intoxicated. That's another reason why I can't drink anymore. Because I will live in the shadows. I will go be amongst and it's all like a combination of the bar in Star Wars. I listened to the theme song this morning, or the end credits one, or whatever it was. And then it's like the bar on, I can never remember the planet names, meets like Men in Black. They wanted to make me one of those trans people because I was supposed to be born male. And then, you know, what's the worst weaponized human that exists? No woman like a woman, no fury like a woman scorn is what they say, right? So yeah, you think it's valuable to have an army of little men with inferiority complex and ideas of grandiosity that are Pisces, Virgo, and Cancer. And then you get a bunch of you put the Aries men and women bodies, you got a bunch of real annoyed bitches all over. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to weaponize people. Tell people that there's a threat over there. I probably shouldn't have eaten that piece, because I ate a piece a little while ago. Whoopee! At least I don't got no place to go, because I can't drive my car. I do have to call and address that. But see, the thing of it is in the last, since Tucker died, And I started like putting money into it because we took it down to my hearing test I had back in September for the military for my benefits. And it's just been sitting there since. I'm sitting at 90%. I'm 10% away from 100, and they're just sitting on somebody. All they have to do is change the field. They go click 90, 100, click. It's a done deal. That's all they have to do. And his stupid cousins in New Mexico. Then I could buy a house. I can invite people because all I want to do is have a place where people can come and recharge their batteries, and then go back and then go, do what they want to do in their life without being as angry as they were, because I had to degauze myself. Dude, ain't no love on this planet besides the love of my dog that I had for my 3 dogs that left in less than a year. All 3, I knew it my whole life. I'm like, I wouldn't think about it, and then there would be bouts. I'd get this thought. I'd be like, they're all going to go at the same fucking time. And they did. And their markings even matched up. Tucker was in the middle. Luna's still here. The moon, she's going to go on an eclipse, I think. A lunar eclipse. Makes me nervous when they come up because of our story. Anyway, she's going to go whenever she wants. I don't get to designate when anything on this earth comes and goes. That's why it hurts so bad. See, that's like evil. Like, I'm sorry. That's the word. I know people that their dogs got. There's a song that comes on that's like it has a little soundtrack that I had to take off. It was like a 22-second thing. I'm so sorry that happened. I'm so sorry that evil exists. My mom got her head slammed in a car door by a man, like she was knocked out. He picked her up. It was a 64 Chevy Biscayne. I know that evil exists. Like people don't know how fragile the human body is, and I had to take that little excerpt off because it's like, what? You shot my dog? You shot my fucking dog? See, my dogs are they're my reason for living, and the mom's my reason for living, because I don't have Earth. I don't have any reason to stay on this planet. I mean, this is where I come from. I could just as easily go back there. I just want to go there in a peaceful state so I don't bring apocalypse to this planet. You get me? Because I do more good if I stay here. I want to outboard a nice kitchen in the back of my Suburban so I can bring homeless people gourmet food. I want to raise the spirits of the people that deserve their spirits raised the most. I have to do it in God's time, not my time. God to me is good orderly direction. Just do the right thing. I have extra, I have to give my extra like Brewster's Millions. When I was a kid, I can't have excess, and I get, so much money every month, and then I just feel like the universe is trying to get me to kind of slow down because I got ripped off for $3,000 here, like I do, and people that rip me off, bad stuff happens to people that rip me off. Excuse me, I gotta get a paper towel. Bad things happen to people that's why, like, I heard I felt the presence of God because it's more like a feeling than a hearing. It's like a ripple effect in your soul. When I lived in Oregon, and I was throwing a tantrum about something that I couldn't control, and I was powerless because I had gotten sober again, and maybe I was drinking at the time. Can't remember. I just remember that I went out in the backyard because when I have these bursts of frequency, I have to get away from things because the things that I love, like, are worried about what's happening to me. So I have to get away from the dogs. I have to get away from Mom, and I just have to go let it out. And I went out in the backyard and I just threw my hands on the earth and I grabbed my fingers into the grass and I was just like, bah, right? It's like releasing, and I felt vengeance is mine. And then from that day on, from that point on, I've tried not to get angry. I try so hard not to get angry. And then I remember, I can't help it. I can divert my anger, but I can't keep my anger from happening because they fried my endocrine in 03. My government tried to kill me off by giving me 8 anthrax vaccines. I got 2 at a time. I'm not supposed to be alive. I have been defying medical bullshit my whole entire life. And so that's why I look like this, because I got these dumbbells. They're 20 pounds, and when I feel powerless, instead of raging or throwing tantrums, as Mom used to call it, or whatever, I pick up my dumbbells and I do sets of 300. I do sets of 100 and I put them down. I wait a couple minutes. I shake out my muscles and I pick up 2 sets of 200 and I do it again. And I just work all that pain, suffering, that drive. And so I don't retaliate. People do shit to me. Unless you try to put hands on me, I will stop it. Boop! And I'll boop you back. And it hurts when I boop. It hurts because I don't even know my own strength sometimes. That's another reason my potency is strong. I can't touch things. Do that. Start with like 5 pounds. I started out with like 15 or 17 pounds weights. I don't do as much as I did but there's been periods like when my dogs were gone. Like you could see the evolution of my body. Like I get really puny when I was in Flagstaff and had to move like 5 years ago. I get really small. And then like you could see like my mental health trudge to happy destiny is that I've trying to deal with shit landlord. I got a good landlord now. I pay rent early. They love me. But I had a couple other shitty ones since I lived here. One of them's dead. I was feeding 22 outdoor over cats. I kept trying to get her to frickin' work with me to have them spayed and neutered, and I had no problem feeding. I was going back after I moved and stuff, and it was too much for her. She knew that she dropped the ball because she couldn't draw sober breaths, and I was like, dude, I'm trying to get them the girls, get them so they can't have babies, and then start with the boys. But like you got to stop. However, like I can't they keep multiplying every 6 months. It's like, there's another pregnant one. This one's pregnant again. Like, no, like help me. I can't leave mom and drive off to here and there where you want me to go and stuff and people wouldn't help me. People don't help me because I look so abled that they get power and they get off by, I didn't help that powerful bitch, so how fucking powerful must I be? Well, you're not very. You suck. And now bad things are going to happen to you because you could have been cool and you fucking weren't. See, I'm trying to make a place for people like you. Male, female, I don't care. You still want to contribute? See, the place I want to make, these are the ideas I have. I want to make my medicine candies. I'm a jack of all tirades. See, I want to learn the guitar. I want to learn how to sing. You can help me learn how to sing. Because I had an AA sponsor one time. She sang, I think she still sings opera for the Omaha Opera. Like, I couldn't talk when I was a little girl. I had a speech problem. So I went to a blue bus in Shasta Union Lake School District. And the lady with the white bun, little short round lady, come by once and she barreled down in her little blue bus and it was like a classroom inside, all these books and flashcards, everything. And so she taught me how to speak and then I had to practice. So to get better at things, I had to put in the work and that's how I learned that. So instead of I went from, my name is Monty, I'm a girl. Because I would talk funny and then people, the predator, would be like, haha, let's make fun of this little kid. All ages, all sizes, colors, grandmas, grandpas, all that, it doesn't matter, nationality, it's a frequency of the asshole, of the narcissist. And then they'd say, what was that? Well, say it again. And I'd say it again, they'd be like, ha ha ha. And then they'd make fun of me. And then they'd have me repeat, and so I don't like to repeat myself. I get to repeat myself, because mom like, if I'm explaining something to her, I have to keep repeating myself because she has about a 45-second window before she forgets what I just said. So when people think, you know, they live in Groundhog's Day, try doing that 30-second intervals. No, they're too busy in their buses traveling around Arizona in the desert, looking at this pretty thing, looking at that pretty thing, like Joe the astrologer. Or they're getting ready for that Great Life Expo out in LA where the Leo Cub's gonna meet and all the other astrological giants and greats. I wonder, you're not gonna hear these people talk about Shirley dying, Shirley in the streets. She came across my radar back in Salem. I was like, hell, I want to feed people, dude. I try to be caught, and I try not to breathe from my, because because what happened when when I was 13, I read the sheriff report about what happened when I was a 10-month-old baby, and I was like, oh my God, that's why my hip pops. And that's what I told this lady that I met, that I came across my radar. She knows another woman that I never met from Chicago, my Earth Angel, but they know each other. And now I'm going to meet them. And it's going to, like, close an energetic circle. And this woman, like, I might have to have met her just so I can, like, it's so weird. She's an Aries, and I want her to teach me how to help people fix their feet. Because I've been tending to Mom. We just soaked Mom's feet yesterday. She has foot fungus. And I understand that foot fungus is a derivative from imbalances from her stomach. But she had she had a prolapse rectum from abuse from when she was a child. They cut out 6 inches of her lower intestine. So I'm not dealing with, you cut her open, it's not going to look the same as it looks in regular people. Because when I was born, they cut her uterus in half. They took out one of her ovaries. Like, we are guinea pigs. We are sample, and we have no souls to people without souls. And they're all the ones that I'm black. I know who doesn't have a soul. They don't got color. They're paste. They're gray. I fucking go to a place. I light up a whole. I don't even realize how much I don't need to pay attention to how much I light. Like, when I go to a place, everybody in the room at some point is gonna, like, pretend like they're not looking at me, and then they're gonna look at me. And it's not even like arrogant. It's just, I am a show in the real world because I have a heart. And my brother has always made fun of me. And I got to explain to this lady about her feet. We were giving each other a little bit of backgrounds. My condolences. It's all poison. They wanted to make you mad too. So they took her with see, it all... World War III is of the spiritual variety, and we were fighting against principalities, things we can't see. And my fight is to not fight against me, to fight with anybody else. That's the only fight I have, is to be at peace. Just stay a peaceful being, Marge. And so, I explained to this woman how I read that you tried to warn her, but you were her husband, and she wouldn't take your advice. She took so that was her life lesson that it cost her. My condolences. I try to tell people I care about not to take vaccines. Dude, knowing what I know about what happened to me in 2003, and then 5 years after I got the 8 vaccines, they were testing the COVID vaccine on us. And then they track us to see our personality changes and stuff. But I was in AA, I was in recovery, I had tools. I was dealing with any frustrations and anger I had, and fear. It's all based in fear. Until they had everybody turn their back on me, and that still didn't hurt me enough to turn my back on Mom. That's how they wanted me to sell my soul. If we could get her to get rid of her mother, who was born and institutionalized, and then turn her, graphene oxide, into a monster because she's so sad, then we'll just lock her away in the institution, and then she'll just be another person that's locked away that we can allocate. Tell the public that we need $107,000 to vet this individual, this person locked in a cage for medical that they'll never get, food that's slopping shit, and it's all to pay for pensions for the guards to torture them and manipulate, because that's what guards are. They get the jobs because of, you know, who their dads and uncles are, but their dads and uncles have them bend them over the table, so then they have their persuasions of might is right too. I know how this stuff works. They just don't like that I explain it in ways that break it down to people that are really going to make them look at the people that are sitting at the chairs that have the flags behind them. Have a rat day. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to wrap it up soon. Peace. Maybe we'll meet someday if ever our paths cross. It's happened before. Meetings. I don't miss the meeting era. I don't miss every time. I was like, because I would be sitting in the meeting hearing about how someone is talking about things that were of no consequence to me. That's exactly what I hear to do. You know, I still got a couple friends at Bill W. I just do it different. I'm going to go back and read the literature again, actually. I'm going to go back. It's not AA approved because it's its own cult, but like the books like New Pair of Glasses and Drop the Rock, all that stuff. I have my talk from Bellevue. I have it on 2 medias. I have it on CD and I have it on cassette tape. I mean, that's what I do. I share my experience, strength, and hope in hopes that other people understand that they don't have to live the way that they have been programmed to live. That you can just go, you know, we can make a community in every place. I know people want it. People are begging for it. Drop the rock. I gotta drop the same rock over and over sometimes. Sometimes in the same day, like with my car. Drop the rock. I gotta call the dude and be like, listen, dude, this is what it is. Maybe you can work with me, because now I gotta think about money. Now I gotta budget. Now I can't. I've been last six. I've been spending freely, and now it has to stop because I forgot. I was getting carried away, in the frequency of. But now I have everything I need. Like, once I get this car, like, I don't need anything. Well, see, they all get sober. The thing of it is the thing about AA is it's such a disaster. It's like a incestuous things, because there are scumbags like Bobby Coyle, a cop in PA, that is a narcissistic fucking scumbag asshole, that is a Nepo Nancy. I'll tell you about that later, because you got that meeting to get into. But it's the whole program. If you get the guy that gets in trouble, my brother is the same program. You get the guy that gets in trouble, he has potential, he's a Virgo, Cancer, Gemini, male, that has a propensity to lose his emotions because they're too emotional. And then they get them to go, you know, then they tell somebody in a court says, go this way or you're going to end up like that. And then they groom them to be up in politics. And that's what Bobby Coyle did, just like my brother. They probably hung out together. I wonder if they've ever been over each other at the at the tables in the secret rooms. And they don't do anything significant. That's the thing. It's like you look at their resume and it looks like they've done stuff, but they do. Like my brother, his military service, he'll be like, I've been in the military since the 1980s. That's what his mind says. But he's taken several 5-year gaps of work, because you can do whatever you want if you're important. And you can take like a timeout. And he was always in the Army Guard, the National Guard, Army Reserves, that way. He was never, did nothing substantial. And he's gone around to like Australia. And right before he goes someplace, and then he helps sets up the stage. And then an event happens at that place. I've seen it his whole life. It's like disaster follows the man. Like he went to Australia one year, and then like 6 months later, that part where he went, it all burned down. And then like he and his wife and family go to Spain into the cathedral, and then 9 days later, that burns down. Like, it's the weirdest stuff. I just can't explain it. There's no way I could possibly ever explain it. It's crazy. It just doesn't even make sense that there would be people that write scripts on reality based on the same scripts that they write on TV shows like The Rockford Files or Criminal Minds. I remember I worked at Creighton and they had an episode when I worked at Creighton. It was like 2010. It was big that if you got sick of your kids, don't beat your kids. Just dump them off at a hospital or a firehouse. And they do it in New Mexico. They have actual baby boxes. Don't throw the baby away in a dumpster. Put it in this box. It's weird. And so what was I saying? My train of thought derailed. Michael Jackson made my train of thought derail. It's 9 o'clock. Oh, I got time. Mom's not gonna, she's gonna sleep for a while. I'm good. Put them in baby boxes. And so then, when I worked at Creighton Medical Center, at Creighton University, the dirty Jesuit, that was the best job I ever quit. I'm like, you dudes are creeps, man. Y'all, you don't have integrity. It always smells like a dude's locker room, and y'all are nasty. So, I'm out. Christopher Harrison is the biggest scum. They all were, because they all protected each other. Oh, you're being too all that shit. It's all Jesuit, nasty. You know, like, grow up. You know, like, at one point, there's people in the community to fucking need shit. Take care. Anyway, so, you take care, too. Thanks for hanging out. Have a rad day. Peace. I lost it again. I had it and I lost it. Best job I ever quit. Oh, the program. Writing of the program. Like, that's what, that's how they get us to create reality, by planting seeds in our minds. That's how reality is created. You ever play that game Subway Surfers? That's a good analogy of how I see how the earth is. Like, things don't exist unless the perceiver is there to see it. And then once the perceiver goes out to see what things really are, what they're drawn to based on their program, can be pretty wild. That's what, like, the whole Appalachian, it's all generational. Dude, it's all, when people do terrible things like rape and pillage on a land, that land is desecrated. And until things are done to bless the land or make the land a better place, and look at America now. They're trying to take this land is your land, this land is my land. These fucking thinks it's all it is shit. It's stupid. Like, they play Monopoly when they're kids, and then they grow up without ever being told no. Get whatever they want, like a bunch of brat Nepo kids. And they start, now we're taking Greenland. Like, dude, America don't want fucking Greenland, dude. Only Biff wants Greenland. America don't want Greenland. Biff wants Greenland. You wanna know why? Because it's cold in Greenland. And then you don't have to they can take over the world with their New World One Order bullshit, and control and dominate surveillance police state, and not have to cool their AI fucking data warehouses because it's cold. And so they just take whatever they want, and people aren't going to let them. Because they don't have the support that they once had, like when I was in the military back in 2000, 2006. They don't got the people, able bodies anymore. They might have the people collecting paychecks, but they do not have the able bodies. Look up any Google. Look up how many military members are there? How many? How many people do you think in 2026 are still in the military? That are really going to be able to, that do much more, like that, because even with drones, even with all that, like, you got to have you got to have people that fix the equipment. So, like, people are going to come into their spirit, because we're coming into Aquarius season. Is just kind of how it's going to be. People are going to, it's just going to get weird for a while. But they're going to come into their spirit, and then they're going to be like, hey, this is bad. Killing people for money It's not ever good for anybody to do. Like, you can't, like, get paid in America $1,000 and go down on the street and take somebody's life because somebody paid you $1,000. You can't do that. Yet America, whenever it feels like it, we all always, for all time, have gone over there and done exactly that. You can't, in America, you can't walk into somebody's house and shit on the floor and then get up, open the fridge, and be like, hey, what's for dinner? You can't do that. Yet, that's what America does every military engagement we've ever done. Vietnam, Desert Storm, Operation Iraqi bullshit, Enduring Freedom. Dude, we liberated them. Looking around America. America's a third world country because we did stupid bullshit, made up stuff, because Hollywood made war movies and back in the 50s and 60s and 70s with dudes like John Wayne and fucking Clint Eastwood, a man's man. Dude, they're all gay too, inverted, fucking, you know, make the people believe that they are who they are, and we can get the people to fall for we can get the people to pay for anything, really. And then they can profit and make money from stupid shit like parades, like, you know, the fake demigod holidays. That's all holidays are. And then they're about to do another one. Oh, Valentine's Day. Because America is such a loving place, right? It's so loving that people need to go out and piss away all this money on stuff, you know. It's so they can get laid. So they could get it. That's what Valentine's Day is. And that's why Mom was Sagittarius, because her dad wanted to do that with Mom, and whether Mom wanted to or not, back in the 1950s, and then she got thrown away. So pay attention. 9-10 months from now, how many people are going to have the product of their lust and desires and not want to have to deal with it, like getting a puppy at Christmas, and then when it goes to try to train the puppy, you don't want to train the puppy because you have to give too much detail to train in the puppy, and you don't have as much time to play your dumb video games or go race around your little racy zoomy car all over the hills of New Mexico. I'm just waiting to miss that one turn. It's gonna make your grandma cry. Because that's the program. Just do whatever you want to do, because you want to make life short. Don't do the thing that reveres life. No, chase the sensation of this exhilaration when they should be teaching children how to meditate and process through the frequencies of their mind in conjunction with their bodies, and learn how to control their emotions so that when they go out into society and this stupid thing happens and that dumb thing happens, and the only thing that they can control is how they breathe. Focus on the breath. I got to do that more. Focus on the breath. Breathe through your nose. Not having any earth in your chart is no joke, y'all. It really isn't. So, my weapon, I'm going to choose the weapon of peace, and today's going to be the peaceful day. Some of those monks, see, they all wear the same outfits, but they're from different places. And when I worked at Creighton on the university side, some of those homies came and did what you call a Mandela. It's not like a Mandela effect. Mandela. Sand art. Oh, it is mandala. It's mandala. And these homies came to Creighton and did one of these. That was a rat. I've had so many dope experiences, man. And my menu is Sushi Alive. My Akashic Records, man. I was just like, I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to see it. I want to see it. Can I try it? But they come and do this. This is just from the internet, but I have my own pictures on Facebook. And these are made with sand. Go look them up yourself. They're hella dope. And so when these monks started walking for peace again, I remember when they walked for peace before, I always paid attention because whenever they come across my radar, I'm like, hey, I wonder if I know them because they came to Creighton because they all wear the same robes and stuff. And they have the same background. So like, and this world is a much smaller place. I don't look at this world as a globe that's spinning around like a mobile. I look at it as like, it's like basically a huge gigantic radio, and we're the songs on the radio, and we travel around the dial frequentially based on our free will and decisions that we make from either our spirit or our ego. Sum of all parts, life, making things better for everyone, or just me because this is how I want it and this is how we're going to do it because this is how it's always blah blah, all that machismo shit that's dying off. I, for one, am very happy about that machismo crap dying off. I've been made the example for doing the right thing for a long time. I've been made for the example of doing the wrong thing. I also get made to be the example for doing the right thing. And so people can treat me and make me stand here and dance this and be this puppet and play this bureaucratic game because they're all asshats. And at the end of the day, ultimately, they know that I'm only willing to cooperate because cooperation is nature's way. But we weren't under the guides of these rules, policies, and procedures and, decorum. And if we were out on the street and things were different, they all know that they would be sucking my decorum. That's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a rad day. Off to watch an episode of Will Trent. Peace.